Your responsibility lies in realizing your child's future dreams. Minimuthu Dayada Children's Insurance from Sri Lanka Insurance. Call 235-7357.
In a few moments, the news.
Sri Lanka Insurance, like a father, like a mother.
This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
The time is 6:15. Here is the news edited by Dulmin Samarasinghe, read by Victor Raj. First, take a look at the headlines of the local news. The Health Ministry prepares a special program to control the spread of the coronavirus. A special team of officials will be deployed to monitor treatment services at Gampaha district hospitals. Sri Lanka Podujana Peramana emphasizes there is no necessity to ask former Minister Richard Baduddin to join the government. The former president says that necessary measures would have been taken to prevent Easter Sunday attacks if he was briefed about the intelligence information. Foreign news: Ireland faces resistance to nuclear COVID-19 lockdown recommendations. Sports news: Rugby Football Union launches investigation after positive COVID-19 tests. Local news in detail. The Ministry of Health has prepared a special program to control the spread of coronavirus and to strengthen treatment services in the Gampaha district after finding an infected person from Divulapitiya area. A special discussion in this regard took place today at the Ministry of Health. The minister said that everyone should jointly overcome the challenge of preventing the spread of the virus to other areas from the Gampaha district. One of the decisions taken during the meeting was use Minuvangada Hospital and Iranavila COVID Treatment Center to treat corona patients of the Gampaha district. The suspected patients will be examined at the Gampaha Hospital. It has also been decided to deploy a special team of officials from the Health Ministry to monitor and empower treatment services at the hospitals in the Gampaha district. The number of PCR tests conducted daily will be increased, and protective clothing and equipment for the staff who conduct those tests will be supplied without a shortage. The Health Ministry pointed out that advice can be obtained over the 1999 Health Service hotline, which is in operation all 24 hours of the day if someone is having symptoms such as fever and flu. The 1990 Suvasaria ambulance service is also operational all 24 hours of the day. Head of the Epidemiology Unit of the Health Ministry, Dr. Sudat Samaravira, says future cases of actions will be decided whether the coronavirus will spread in the society or not. He said that the group of 71 infected persons found from Minuvangudu and Divulapitiya areas can be considered as a cluster. He emphasized that the support of the public is essential to maintain the country without locking it down again as in the recent past. Dr. Sudat Samaravira has requested not to hold any unessential function or ceremony and to minimize gatherings. He said that it is essential to follow the health guidelines. The Government Medical Officers Association points out that although corona patients were not reported from the community during the recent past, the risk was prevailing. During a media briefing in Colombo today, editor of the association, Dr. Harita Aludge said that the way the woman from Divulapitiya was infected has not been identified. Therefore, he said that the government, health authorities and the public are entrusted with a special responsibility. Dr. Aludge said the number of PCR tests conducted daily should be increased. He pointed out it is essential to pay a special attention to high-risk communities such as pregnant mothers, elders, and those who are suffering from various illnesses. Dr. Harita Aludge requested the public to minimize travelling and to give their support to the health authorities. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Minimutu Dayada Children's Insurance from Sri Lanka Insurance. Call 235-7357.
Continuing with more local news, General Secretary of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna MP Sagara Karyabasam says that the government has no necessity to invite former Minister Richard Badudin to join the government. He said that the government has not been taken in addition to ask him to join the government. He was speaking during a media briefing at the party headquarters today in Battaramulla. Chairman of the party, Minister Professor G.L. Pires, said that the government is not prepared to endanger the school children. He said that the government will decide on the grade 5 scholarship examinations and advanced level examinations within next few days. Former President Maithripala Sirisena said that the Easter Sunday attacks took place since those responsible persons such as former IGP Pooja Jayasundara, former Defence Secretary Hemasari Fernando and intelligence officials neglected their duties. Giving evidence before the Presidential Commission to inquire into the Easter Sunday attacks, he said that former State Intelligence Head DIG Nilantha Jayawardena did not inform him about the foreign intelligence information. The former president said that if he was briefed about the foreign intelligence information, he would not have gone to Singapore for treatment and actions would be taken to prevent the attacks by informing the Archbishop and security authorities. The former president said that he attended too many functions in Batticaloa on 12th April 2019 and he would have never gone to that area if he received intelligence information. The Supreme Court has concluded the consideration of petitions filed challenging the draft bill of 20th Amendment to the Constitution. Chief Justice Jayanta Jayasuriya stated in open court that the secret decision of the Supreme Court regarding the constitutionality of the draft amendment bill will be referred to the President and the Speaker of the Parliament. During the hearing, Attorney General Dapula de Oliveira said all the provisions contained in the draft of the 20th Amendment are in accordance with the Constitution, pointing out that the President is bound to ensure free and fair elections in accordance with the Constitution. He said the proposed 20th Amendment bill has expanded that responsibility and provided the Elections Commission with a stronger legal basis for free and fair elections. The Attorney General pointed out that the 20th Amendment proposes to reinstate the President's immunity lost under the 19th Amendment Act, which will enable the President to exercise his executive powers vested in him by the Constitution without hindrance. He emphasized that there was no need to refer to a referendum to approve any of the provisions contained in the draft as a whole. In conclusion, Attorney General Dapula de Oliveira said the draft could easily be passed by a two-thirds majority in Parliament without a referendum. Subsequently, the court directed the parties involved in the case to submit their written submissions, if any, before 3 p.m. tomorrow. The Parliament will meet tomorrow. Secretary General of the Parliament, Dhammika Disanayaka, said that all measures are in place to meet the Parliament following health guidelines of the Ministry of Health. The second reading of the Finance Amendment Draft Bill and provisions of the Import and Export Act will be taken in Parliament tomorrow. That ends local news.
In the ever-changing world, our children's dreams are much larger. We need to plan ahead if we want to make their dreams a reality.
The King of Insurance introduces the Minimutu Dayada Children's Insurance. 125% of the sum assured after maturity. Mother, father or guardian receives 5 times the insured amount as the insurance cover. 1,000 rupees per day hospitalization cover. Your responsibility lies in realizing your child's future dreams. Minimutu Dayada Children's Insurance from Sri Lanka Insurance. Call 235-7357.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
Commissioner General of Buddhist Affairs Sunanda Karyaperma says that the government has decided to give vacation to Buddhist Dhamma schools in the island. The Sunday schools will be reopened according to the advice of the Director General of Health to coincide with reopening of the schools. That ends main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
Moving on to Watchlight, the 38th National Information Technology Conference themed towards a sustainable digital Sri Lanka and organized by the Computer Society of Sri Lanka will be held on the 14th and 15th of this month at the Shangri-La Hotel in Colombo. National ICT Awards will also be key highlights at the inauguration of the National ICT Conference 2020. That ends Watchlight. Moving on to World News. Headlines first. Ireland faces resistance to nuclear COVID-19 lockdown recommendation. British Queen Elizabeth expresses support for mainstream media. Nobel Prize for Medicine goes to hepatitis C discovery. World News in detail. Ireland's government faced political and business resistance today to a surprise recommendation by health chiefs of Europe's first major second-wave national lockdown to prevent hospitals from being overwhelmed as coronavirus cases rise. The National Public Health Emergency Team called for a leap to the highest level of COVID-19 restrictions, level 5, yesterday. Britain's Queen Elizabeth gave a ringing endorsement of traditional media in a message to journalists today, saying they were providing a vital public service during the COVID-19 pandemic, at a time when established newspapers and television channels are routinely vilified and accused of producing fake news by US President Donald Trump and other world leaders. The 94-year-old monarch's message was a rare tribute. 3 scientists who discovered the virus hepatitis C have won the 2020 Nobel Prize in Medicine or Physiology. The winners are British scientists Michael Houghton and US researchers Harvey Alter and Charles Rice. The Nobel Prize Committee said their discoveries ultimately saved millions of lives. The virus is a common cause of liver cancer and a major reason why people need a liver transplant. To wrap up the world news, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Ireland faces resistance to nuclear COVID-19 lockdown recommendation. Britain's Queen Elizabeth expresses support for mainstream media. Nobel Prize of Medicine goes to hepatitis C discovery. That ends world news. Moving on to development news. Leading social innovator Earth Tech is launching Together in Action to help bring people together and make progress towards their global goals. PRWA, the Sri Lankan affiliate of world's largest PR firm Edelman, will partner in this impactful initiative in its efforts to help make a difference to people and the planet. Together in Action is a unique program designed to identify, support and scale up innovations that focus on addressing the 19th Sustainable Development Goals. That ends development news. Moving on to sports news, rugby. The Rugby Football Union has launched an investigation into Sales COVID management after the club's 19th positive cases through the end of the Premiership season into chaos. Sales watch with Worcester has been moved to Wednesday, while Gloucester against Northampton was cancelled. A spokesperson said the RFU is undertaking an independent audit of areas including the track and trace process. Tennis news. Australia's Ash Barty will remain the women's world number one at the end of the year despite having skipped 2 Grand Slams and not playing a match since February. World number 2 Simona Halep's shock further round drubbing by Polish teenager Iga Swiatek at the French Open on Sunday ensured Barty will be head into the second successive session with the top ranking. Barty made the Australian Open semi-finals in January but skipped the US Open and the French Open title defense, citing a lack of preparation. Golf news. Sergio Garcia's secured his first PGA Tour win since 2017 Masters with one-shot victory at the Sanderson Farm Championship in Mississippi. Garcia began the day in a 3-way share of the lead out of needed an eagle on the par 5 14th to draw level with clubhouse leader Peter Malnati. A fine approach shot on the 18th 10 set up a 2-foot birdie putt for victory, his 11th on the PGA Tour. That ends sports news.
The wait is over and it's time for you to experience happiness. It's time to remap the graph for success. It's time to rebuild your empire. It's time to initiate your entrepreneur dreams. Empower your dreams with NSB Wings. Get your 2-year personal loan for just 7% per annum, starting from 500,000 rupees to 10 million rupees. All you need is just one guarantee. NSB Wings. Recharge the high goal.
Business news. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The commendable performance of Sri Lankan exporters and the resilience shown during COVID-19 pandemic is to be rewarded by the Sri Lanka Export Development Board of the Ministry of Trade through a proposed export stimulus reward scheme. The exporters who manage the risk and the vulnerability despite the current global economic crisis are to be further encouraged by rewarding their achievements. That ends business news.
The wait is over and it's time for you to experience happiness. It's time to remap the graph for success. It's time to rebuild your empire. It's time to initiate your entrepreneur dreams. Empower your dreams with NSB Wings. Get your 2-year personal loan for just 7% per annum, starting from 500,000 rupees to 10 million rupees. All you need is just one guarantee. NSB Wings. Recharge the high goal.
Business news. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Hello, Puta, did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down, everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge.
LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
The central bank has extended relief measures afforded to licensed finance companies on mandatory liquidity standards by a further 6 months to ride pandemic-induced business challenges. In a fresh amendment to the direction on liquid assets of the licensed finance companies, the Monetary Board extended the minimum mandatory liquid asset requirement of 6% on the outstanding value of time deposits. That ends economic news.
Congratulations on your promotion. Heard you gave a treat for everyone in your department yesterday.
Yeah.
When will be our treat, huh?
Well, how about today?
Oh no, I was just joking. We'll have a party with your new salary.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Those who spread goodness radiate happiness to everyone around them. Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
Weather report was sponsored by
CIB Janajaya Vasana 15th phase offer from 14th September to 11th October. Win gifts worth in 100,000s for every over 3,000 rupees bill. Visit CIB today.
The Met Department serves several spheres of Shah Silaka in Western and Sub-Regamer provinces and in Gol and Mathura districts. Several spells of light showers may occur in Central Province. Showers or thundershowers will occur at a few places in Northern Province and in Trincomalee and Polonnaruwa districts. That ends the weather report.
Weather report was sponsored by
CIB Janajaya Vasana 15th phase offer from 14th September to 11th October. Win gifts worth in 100,000s for every over 3,000 rupees bill. Visit CIB today.
To conclude the evening news broadcast, let's take a look at the headlines once again. The Health Ministry prepares a special program to control the spread of the coronavirus. A special team of officials will be deployed to monitor treatment services at Gampaha district hospitals. Sri Lanka Podujana Peramana emphasizes there is no necessity to ask former Minister Rishad Badudin to join the government. The former president says that necessary measures would have been taken to prevent his recent attacks if he was briefed about the intelligence information. Foreign news: Ireland faces resistance to nuclear COVID-19 lockdown recommendation. Sports news: Rugby Football Union launches investigation after positive COVID-19 tests.